Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to ask the question, can a book be dangerous? And I want to ask this in context to the Dungeon Master Guide. And we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. All right, let's jump into this. The reason why we're talking about this is I had two events happen in the same day that I think were very specific to the Dungeon Master Guide, and it prompted this question, and I want to explain it. All right, so first of all, we're moving into 2024, and I intend to continue in 2024 just as I did in 2023, and I think with momentum this time, with even more momentum. I will be asking the question, what is Dungeons and Dragons? What is Dungeons and Dragons? What is Dungeons and Dragons? I believe that is the most important secular question that exists for American society. And it's truly quite profound. It's a profound question. All right, so let's jump into this. So first of all, what prompted this question? Well, a Christmas gift for me, which was not Dungeons and Dragons specific. So I have a unique relationship with video games. I'm primarily against them, right? And I don't spend much time with them. But last year in 2023, the video game Hogwarts Legacy dropped, and the moment it was announced, I think back in 2022, I had intense interest. But I did not buy it for myself, and the reason why is I have a bad habit of I did this with Cyberpunk 2077, and I did this with Armor Core, right, where a big expensive $60 game will drop, and I'll receive that game, and I'll play it for 15 minutes, and I'll never touch it again. This happens all the time, and the reason why is I don't find video games compelling, right? But anybody and everybody I could talk to about video games, I was asking them about Hogwarts Legacy, and the reason why is I didn't want to buy this game and play it for 15 minutes and then never touch it again, which is my absolute bog standard relationship with video games. I just don't find them compelling, right? But someone who I care about, bought me the game for Christmas. So one, the $60 is not on me, and I don't buy video games anymore because I find them so uncompelling, right? And so boring and just not for me, that I don't want to waste money on them anymore. But somebody got me this, and the reason they got it for me is Hogwarts is a huge part of my history as a person, and it is extremely it's an incredibly personal intellectual property to me. The reason why is I am a terrible, terrible friend. I don't think I'm a terrible person. I'm an evangelical Christian and try to do the best I can in life, and I fail, many ways. And one of them is friendship. I just am a really bad friend. I've never been able to have the strong relationships with friends that I would like to. I'm just not good at it. And I know what real friendship looks like because of my mother-in-law, which is pretty astounding. My mother-in-law had lifelong friends, and she would spend time with them, and they would fight, but they would make up, and she just was an incredible friend to her friends, right? And so I know what it means. But when I read Harry Potter, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful depiction of friendship. And friendship in the way that I had experienced friendship. Like, there's all these stories of, oh, we're friends forever, BFF. But like Ron and Harry fought bitterly. Hermione and Ron fought bitterly. There was just so many examples of very bitter, very bitter fighting, and then them returning to be friends, right? And and I've definitely had bitter fights with my friends, but we just don't return to being friends, right? And the Harry Potter series just really changed me very fundamentally. It's hugely. So somebody gave me this game, and sure enough, I broke the 15-minute rule. I've spent hours in this game, and it really, it's like attending Hogwarts. I've been blown away with how powerful the game is. Absolutely the best video game of the year for me. I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think I would have liked Baldur's Gate 3 anyway. It seemed like there was a lot of things in there that had nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't, but this video game really got me. Right? So in the video game, I named my character Lyohm Renrix, Lyohm space and then Ren as in the bird, and then Rix, right? And it was really interesting. Professor Fig takes your character under the wing in this video game to help him deal with Hogwarts because he's coming in as a 5th year. So that'd be like somebody coming into, like a high school as a senior, right? It'd be a very hard transition, right? So Professor Fig is helping Lyohm, my character, and there's a point where in order to quest forward, Professor Fig says, "Hey, you need to get a book, right?" And Liam's like, "Yeah, no problem. I can get a book." And he's like, "Hey, listen, this book is dangerous, right? It's in the restricted section of the library." And Liam, says, "Dangerous?" He's like, "How could a book be dangerous, right?" And the moment he said it, I immediately thought about I really immediately thought about the Dungeon Master Guide, right? So let's delve into this. Can a book be dangerous? Is the Dungeon Master Guide dangerous? It's an interesting question. So on the same day that I encountered this question, this question of can a book be dangerous? How dangerous can a book be? I also came across a fascinating statement by Teo Sabadia. Let me explain that, and then we're going to answer the question together, right? Of can a book be dangerous? All right. Let's get into it. So Teo Sabadia, he's brilliant Dungeons and Dragons commentator, right? He commentates on Dungeons and Dragons. He works with Sean Merwin a lot, but he did this project on his own. He did this one project on his own. And Teo Sabadia is a brilliant Dungeons and Dragons commentator. And if you haven't seen his work, he has his podcast right here on YouTube. It's free. It's called Mastering Dungeons, and you should watch it. It's fantastic. But in his 2024 New Year's show, he talked about something he did in he talked about this thing he did in specifically in 2023, right? It was pretty astounding. And so what he explained is that in 2023, he noticed that Hasbro was changing words, changing text in Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, and he cataloged it. And on his Alpha Stream blog, he broke down every major change that was done by Hasbro secretly, right, on D&D Beyond. And what these changes were literally, in my humble opinion, a profound attempt to change the language of every dungeon master and every dungeon performer, players who play Dungeons & Dragons, player characters at a Dungeons & Dragons table, and society itself. It is a catalog of use the right pronouns. It is a catalog of this is how we deal with mental health. This is how we talk about mental health in a respectful manner, in a manner that is appropriate and correct, right? And it was language around LGBTQ, language around people of color, language around every exclusionary political position, every exclusionary social position, every exclusionary social issue that specifically Hasbro D&D could find, and fixing all this language in Dungeons & Dragons secretly, on D&D Beyond, right? And Teos Abadia took the time, cataloged it all, put it all up on AlphaStream, and said, "Hey, everybody, look, Hasbro D&D is changing Dungeons and Dragons to be progressive for the better." Right now, what's astounding is, why didn't Hasbro just declare these changes? Well, Teos actually explains this. He explains that the reason they didn't do this, that they couldn't call this out, is Dungeons and Dragons within its own community has many people who say, "I love Dungeons and Dragons. Let me tell you all the things I hate about it." And that this is a absolutely constant pattern of speech, right? "I love Dungeons and Dragons. Let me tell you everything I hate about it." And the moment he said it, I knew exactly who he was talking about, right? Like, there's a million of them. Like, I think the king of them is Professor Dungeon Master, who's like ashamed of his title now, and has a channel that is exactly like this. "Hey, everybody, I love Dungeons and Dragons. Let me tell you every single thing I hate about it." It's this old channel, right? Like, and so basically, Teos kind of, I'm paraphrasing here. You can check out what he said in the video, see if you think what I'm saying matches. I think it's accurate, right? And he said, essentially, what he was saying is, if Hasbro called this out on their own, right, people would accuse them of glory seeking. They say, "Oh, you're white knighting. Oh, you're grandstanding. Oh, you're showing you're a social justice warrior." So he did it for them. But this is the incredible part, okay? He explained the moment he did this, those haters, right? Those people who want Dungeons and Dragons to stand for prejudice, those people who want Dungeons and Dragons to be a home for hate, came for him immediately, right? And, brought all their internet hatred and all their internet, like shenanigans and worse, right to his doorstep, right? All the hate that Hasbro D&D would have gotten came right to Teos Abadia. So Teos, on the first day of 2024, is saying, in my opinion, what he really did, what he was doing, he was explaining, "I did the sacrificial thing for Dungeons and Dragons. Right? Listen to this. I became a martyr for Dungeons and Dragons. I took their pain upon myself." That's astounding, right? So let's answer the question. Can a Dungeon Master Guide be dangerous? At one point, Teos Abadia opened a Dungeon Master Guide. It changed his life forever. He is a sacrificial martyr for Dungeons and Dragons today. He took hate upon himself because he knew Hasbro D&D couldn't take it on their own shoulders, right? Because they couldn't toot their own horn. They couldn't declare their own attempts to progressively help America to form the right speech, to form inclusive speech, to form speeches of love, right? Hasbro D&D couldn't say, "Listen, we've been doing for 2 decades the legacy of Gary Gygax, improving humanity." Teos became a sacrificial martyr for Dungeons and Dragons. Just listen to his speech. Listen to what he did. He declared this on the first day of 2024. Is the Dungeon Master Guide a dangerous book? It's a great question. What I can tell you is it can absolutely position you to be a sacrificial martyr. Teos Abadia is 100% proof of that, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I hear your humble opinion. You get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.